Hello, and like we said, we're going to continue our conversation from last week. Hello, guys. I love introducing myself. Of course, I'm Mrs. Luchi Gloria, and that is a continue conversation from the one we had last week, introspection. And because we know we are approaching the next half of the year, it's time for us to reflect. So let's have a genuine conversation. And like last week conversation, it was a space of me just being scared and just reevaluating. But now we're going to do the reevaluation. And so that when we come back to this episode, or when I come back to this episode, it's going to be a thing of, oh, I think I now understand those questions I asked, those questions that were placed in my heart, things that were bothering me basically. And while we are on it, you're welcome to the amazing episode on the Experience Luchi podcast, EWL podcast. Don't forget that this platform is a platform for you to be expressive and a reality check. Um, so now, after much evaluation, I now know two major points that I think I need to work on. It's something I have been working on, but I feel like sometimes when I get to that point where I just want to relax and enjoy the benefits of some fruit, I because I am an extremist, it's difficult for me to just do things in a minimal level. I like to go all out. So now when I'm in that space of relaxing, I tend to procrastinate a lot. I tend to be lazy. So now we know the problem. And it's the same thing that I said on the previous episode when I said that what level of discipline, how consistent the one needs to be that person, or to be the person you want to be that person. I don't know how to place it, but how consistent and disciplined do you need to be to achieve a certain kind of lifestyle? And obviously, we all want to be successful. We all want to make sense of this thing called life. Nigeria is a lot is happening in Nigeria. We know of everything that is happening, and like I said, the government cannot relate because they've never been in that situation. So let's get back to the point. So now we know procrastination. I started doing something last early this year where I would write out things I want to do for that day. And I may not have been consistent with it, but the thing helped me. It helped me a lot in certain areas on achieving my daily tasks, on achieving a productive day. And I think that is what I want to bring back to this month of June. An account, like you have those booklets, you just write everything you want to do for that particular week. And we're going to split it. We're not going to now split it across the days. Okay, for Monday, this is what you're going to do. And I am now understanding this reward system. I read this book, Atomic Habit, and now for every task I achieve, I tend to gift myself a reward, and it's been working lately. There is a pending gift I want to give to myself, and because I have not completed the task, it's helping me save a lot of money actually. So if I don't do certain things that will bring more money, I don't spend on things that will take more money. What? um I am also observing that a lot of times when you make a decision to do something, it takes 2 seconds. The moment you want to lay on the bed and you're like, oh, should I lay on the bed? Should I go and make that? Should I go and do what I'm supposed to do? And you just like, oh, I just lie down small. You've made a decision. So hopefully I hope to make better decision as I approach the second half of the year, and basically just stay consistent with everything I say I want to achieve. And so there are a lot of things I said I want to do this year too. So now we're going to now make conscious and realistic plan. So nobody say you could just talk. I've heard a lot of people I listen to say you cannot just say you want to do something without actually having a plan on how you want to achieve this thing. So because of when I was younger, I had like I maybe I did plan things, and life happened, and it made me really believe that there's no need to plan. You get a plan, life could a plan you. But I think that is a very backward mentality that I need to correct. I would now make those plans. But what I would not do is to make rigid plan. When it's time for adjustment, it should be able to, I can be able to adjust the plan. And when there is a template, it's easy for you to carry those, it's easy for you to achieve those goals. Or how do I say this? Let me rephrase. When there's a template, it's easy for you to build from there and achieve those plans or goals. So that is something I want to work on again. It's helped me previously having those templates. But like I said, we always learn, unlearn and learn. So I'm going to learn how to work using a template. And hopefully I hope I have the results I want to achieve. I think yes. So these things I've listed should be able to help me get rid of my two vices, which is procrastination and laziness. That is it on this episode of self introspection, and it's just for you to see. This episode is just a reminder to us that nobody is perfect. We are flawed, and we just have to keep reevaluating and always picking the best options, and it's going to get better from there. It's going to be okay. Everything will be fine regardless of the situation of this country. We can survive, and we will survive. And I wish each and every one of us the best. And I hope when we eventually get to the second half of the year, we are ready on the path of greatness. Until I see you guys on the next one, don't forget to engage on this conversation on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and on YouTube. Please follow us across all social media platforms. My private handle, Luchi, AWLC is rating. We're repping the brand continuously now for 2 weeks. And while we are on it, don't forget that God is love, love is God. Let's spread love, let's be consistent, and hopefully we'll achieve what we said we're going to achieve. I'm your host, Luchi Gloria. I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.